What's cracking, everybody? EC Radio live and direct from Disruption Network Studios. You can catch us on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, please click the share button. If you're watching over there on YouTube, subscribe and like, smash that like, drop us some subscriptions and whatnot. Shout out to my sponsors. If not for the sponsors, this podcast is not possible. So thank you to Upgrade Brain Formula. I had a little bottle kicking around. I like having the little bottle kicking around, but he's missing. Anyways, Upgrade Brain Formula. Open up those brain receptors, reduce your stress. It helps me every day. I wake up, I do a little sip of the Upgrade Brain Formula, and I'm ready for my day, ready for my workouts, and you could be too. So if you go to freemanformula.com, use promo code Disruption, get yourself a 15% discount. Check out Lasting Confidence, where men go for growth. Where men go for growth. It's lastingconfidence.com. Get a couple inches on your guy, dude. This is a thing. It's a procedure. 15% off with when you use promo code Disruption at lastingconfidence.com. It's a thing. It's like you get a procedure. Check it out. Promo code Disruption. It's very discreet, and you can help out your member down below. All right. EJA Moving Service is the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his crew at 315-335-0516, EJAMoving.com. They do all the work for you. They give you free boxes. They pack up the boxes. They bring those boxes pretty much wherever they need to go. Check them out. 315-335-0516. You can call them today for a free estimate. Shout out to Joey's at 307. It's 307 Mohawk Street. They got great seafood. They got an awesome revolving dinner menu. They do catering. Check them out. 315-864-3527. Give them a call today for reservations. They're booked up pretty solid. Utica coffee. Today we're drinking the Costa Rican roast, and it jams me up. This stuff really tweaks me out. I love it. When they say wake the hell up, they mean it. WakeTheHellUp.com. You can find them online. Thank you to my attorney, Dave Longaretta. Shout out to Saranac. We love Saranac. They keep us hydrated here around the D. And also big ups to Ballsy. Ballwash.com. Use promo code members only. Not only can we give you growth down below, but we can also have down below smell great for you. That's what happens. We take care of your genitalia around here, Jayme. That's what happens, dude.
I think everybody should kind of do that.
It's all dicks and ass around Disruption Network. The D stands for duh and dicks. You can't. No reply on that one. I love it. Jayme, Carney, how you doing, brother?
Not too bad.
It's good to see you. You got Giz with you.
Oh yeah, this is the little sidekick here.
Yeah, it's your little sidekick, your protege, if you will.
Yeah, she's not in the gym, so she's not a grandmaster right now. She just blends in.
Yes. So for those that don't know, Jayme it's safe to say you're a personal trainer. You're my personal trainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jayme's a personal trainer. He excels in the world of mixed martial arts, a little Muay Thai boxing, some regular boxing, and he's helped me, definitely. So first of all, dude, thank you for all you've done for me, brother. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, for sure.
I've shed some weight, and a lot of it's because of your tutelage, and I'm learning a lot, and it helps with my mental health every day. I'm not so angry anymore. People have noticed a difference in me, and I like it, and I think a lot of it has to do from what I've been learning from you.
Heck yeah, I think you've been doing great. First of all, thanks for sticking with it. That's number one, right? Mm-hmm. Being consistent. But yeah, I know that it helped me in my life. So absolutely, I love to push it as much as I can. As much as there's an interest there, I will push it just so maybe it could help anyone. You know, you don't have to be super athletic, for instance. You can be taught. If you're athletic, of course, it helps. Mm-hmm. But you could be a dog. Got that footwork.
She gets her workout in every day. That's for damn sure.
But yeah, it can help anyone. Actually, girls, guys, kids. You don't have to really set age, you know what I mean? Just because it's just movement, you don't have to necessarily get beat up either, you know?
Right.
I don't think I've hit you once on purpose.
Yeah.
I think.
Only because I deserved it.
Don't you tell anyone if I did.
Only because I deserved it. But anyhow, I'm fascinated by your story, though, bro, because every week that I come to visit you and come train, you bust out these gems of a story every now and then, and it's like, God damn, dude. So I'm very fascinated about So let's start from the beginning. I want to know, Jayme from the beginning, growing up in Madison.
Oh, small town.
Yeah, like, what was that like growing up out there in the sticks?
It was out there. We didn't really get out too much, but I did have sports a lot.
Yeah.
It was one thing I did. I didn't really get into drugs or alcohol at that age when I was younger. Stayed very clean. And just watched my older brother and my friends, and just kept on working.
What was your main sport?
Man, I switched all the time, but I think I was probably best in baseball, but I loved basketball.
You're shortstop, right? You got shortstop frame.
Yeah, I was catcher and shortstop and second base. Yeah, I would go back and forth, whatever was needed. But I liked all that. Catcher was fun because I liked playing catch. I was involved. And second, you get a lot of action. Shortstop, you get a lot of action.
Oh, yeah.
But I was a good hitter, pretty good hitter. I had good hand-eye coordination, which is probably through martial arts. I started that really early, and like 8, way before I started sports.
8, so martial arts was first. Doing all that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, probably baseball was first, but right after that, right around the same time, yeah.
And so you just stuck with martial arts throughout the whole life?
Yeah, I had some interesting teachers, and I just liked it. I watched a lot of movies. I think I saw, a lot of action movies, a lot of Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that little guy can do it. Let's go.
Was he an inspiration to you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think he probably was for anyone that's, anywhere near
Copy that.
my age or even younger or older. It doesn't really matter. I think he kind of spans generations. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I think he has to be one of the people that people look up to, I think so. Why not?
He's the pinnacle.
Good-looking guy, yeah. Mm-hmm. Athletic,
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary.
What a story, too, on him.
Yeah, broke some barriers. Mm-hmm. I like it. Yeah, his story is great.
So you graduate high school, and then you move on to college?
Oh, yeah.
Because you did a lot of traveling. I got to know about these travels.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't start yet. Went to college to play soccer, and then I wasn't doing that well with grades, and I got a job at a ski resort. But when I was out there, I got a job at a ski resort, and then I started snowboarding. At the same time, I was training other martial arts because they had a cool little spot next to my college. So I got a chance to train Muay Thai, kickboxing, Jun Fan, which is what Bruce Lee taught. I was like, oh, I've never done that. So I tried that. And I got introduced to Muay Thai, which is what I fell in love with. That's where I first got to look at that. Did some stick fighting there, which was pretty fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I had these imaginary scenarios in my head. I was like, oh, what if I got attacked at a pool table in the middle of nowhere? Break that pool stick. And then, it's too many movies. But it kept me going, and I liked it. Met a lot of cool people through that. But then I got sidetracked with snowboarding a little bit. I got good really fast. I got a job. I was going every day. Wasn't spending money, so I had a free pass from working. I got a job at the resort. And got good really fast, and then before I knew it, I graduated college, and I was like, I'm going to go be a pro snowboarder. And I moved to Vermont, and that's when I started traveling. Got good fast there, and then started traveling the country, going to contests and hanging out with a lot of pro athletes and people that were up and coming. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of the best, but I was hanging out with the best. I'll be honest with myself with that, but I was good, and I was just always there. And then I got a little older, and they got younger, and I was like, I'll start coaching. And started coaching snowboarding, traveled with that a bunch. And then when that ended, I was like, well, time to move to California and get into martial arts. So that's something I always liked. And I'm like, well, let's do that now or never. I had fun with snowboarding. I kind of jumped and took over my life for 7 to 10 years. And I was like, well, let's do the next 7 to 10 doing what I liked before that.
Is California the mecca of martial arts?
Yeah, at the time it was the mecca for sure. It was legal. It wasn't quite legal yet then, but it was. If you crossed the border to Tijuana, it was legal. So everyone trained in San Diego, and then we would go in groups, buddy system,
and go fight down in
over
Tijuana.
To Tijuana. Yeah, watch them fight, and watch everyone come up. So those names that I watched there and helped train and trained with are the names of today, in the UFC, Bellator, and won a championship. I also like that, which is another Asian organization. Yeah, I can nerd out all day about fighting.
Did you fight in Tijuana?
I'd never fought. I went down there as corner, and I was just training partners with these guys.
Gotcha.
So went down to support. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I moved out to California to I started a clothing company, and which was MMA inspired. So I went out there and really pushed it. I think I went out there with man, I must have had some confidence because I went out there what's up? And here I am. Here's this stuff. Haven't you always wanted this? And but it was doing well in New York when I started it, so I went out there with full bravado and confidence.
So in New York, you're going to California.
Yeah,
trying to sell shit.
And I did pretty decent. Got into some of the big shops, and I started working and hanging out some of the bigger gyms. I walked right up to the the toughest gyms. I knew the gyms in the area a little bit. I was told from friends, and so I went right to the toughest gyms, and I was like, "What's up?" Joined up, started training, ended up working there, and yeah, helping fighters, and just been involved with it since I went out there, and then since I've been back, I've never stopped. So
walking into these gyms in California, you're the new guy. Are they giving you hard lessons? Are they giving you lickings? Like, is there some sort of hazing period?
Well, I would say absolutely, but they see how you react. You know, I was definitely like a token white guy in most of these gyms, which is fine. I love I love all people, but and that was fun because they're like, all right, he made it. You know, like I was friends with a lot of Hawaiians and people from Guam and from Philippines and from all over, a lot of Asians and of course Mexicans, which and of course that fell in love. That's how my love for pizza got overtaken by the love of tacos.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. Moving out there will change your mind real quick when you're like,
yeah,
they have tacos for all types of occasions, breakfast, brunch. It's great. Burritos, gotta love it. Plus, being so close to Tijuana and the border, you get the best tacos.
What kind of lickings would they give you, though, coming into these gyms? Like, give me a good hard lesson that you had to learn being out there.
Equal opportunity. They'll, new kid, they're like, here you go, take this person, and it'll be like a 90-pound girl or like a 14-pound boy. And you're like, oh, okay. And then, turns out they're pro. And you get smoked by whoever they feel like getting you smoked by, or you don't, or you survive, and that's pretty much it. They always give someone, But I was hanging out with heavyweights, and I'm not a heavyweight,
no.
So I think that's how you kind of. But growing up in martial arts, there were no weight classes, so everyone was always bigger than me, so always bigger. So that was no problem, except just got you to learn to be fast or take a kick or use your reach and stuff, which I hope is something you've learned. And just how to move, pretty much. That's what I learned. Movement. Get the heck out the way.
You're a freaking ninja, though, dude, the way you move. And I haven't even seen like an eighth of it. But you do have great movement of your body, and you're very in good control, hand-eye coordination and whatnot.
Heck yeah.
So from California, where does it go?
Well, California, I stayed out there a bunch and then traveled, went to Vegas for a bunch of the fights. It got legal. So,
this is right around when UFC's getting legal?
Oh, UFC was already going.
Okay.
But it just became legal to be done in the United States. Like,
copy that.
Like you could hold events. They sanctioned it, I guess, is what I'm saying. They made it like so the states would sanction it. Yeah, everyone wants their money is what it is. You just want some money. Someone wants their money.
It's like the boxing
The boxing commission wants, they all want. They want to figure out how to do this stuff. And so, yeah, that got legal. Got the chance to travel with that. And like I said, it was really fun. I just happened to throw myself in the best gyms. I ended up training with some of the best people, unknowingly, but they were at it too. And they recognize if you're still there, you're there every day and you're showing up, and And plus, I was sponsoring fighters. I was involved with
like with henchmen.
Yeah, sponsorships. So I was sponsoring fighters, and I was helping train. And I love if someone needed a corner. I love cornering fighters. It's always fun. I love the whole game of mixed martial arts. Not just boxing, but I also love the mixed martial arts game of from wrestling to stand up to right down how it just mixes together. I love it.
What's your favorite facet of it?
The punching, obviously, punching and kicking.
Yeah, no, but I mean, for you, the part of the industry, what would you rather? Would you rather corner? Would you rather train? Would you rather fight? Would you rather be the promoter? What facet of that industry would you want to be a part of?
I think I love so much of it that I've kind of been involved in a little bit of aspects already, and as you get older, you can't do what you wanted to do before, so you should move on and stuff. But
yeah,
I think refereeing has always been on the radar. It was the idea of refereeing. Judging needs some help. I would do that. I don't know. I just like it all. Helping the fighters. I think coaching's my favorite. I like making people sharp.
Yeah.
I can take you from point A to point Z, of course, but it's a lot of fun for me when you're already good, and you just want to hit the next gear. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I like doing that. I like seeing people because it takes a lot of commitment.
Oh yeah, man.
So you got to show up. I like people showing up. Other than that, you're a weekender. When I snowboarded, that's a weekend person that comes up on the weekend. They're part time. I was there all full time, and it's the same thing. People treat that the same way. If you treat it part time, it's a part time thing. But
yeah,
I guess when you cross that line, it's really fun to see people go for it. Go for something that's was a dream or is a dream. You know, it's not easy and certainly doesn't pay a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
Certainly doesn't pay. I mean, and even if you think you're in it for like the girls, or if you're a girl and for the guys, like that'll take your money too. It's not like you're making a ton of money. So I would say you gotta be smart. Make sure you really want to do it. If not,
motivation, dedication, and commitment.
Yeah, I just keep training. I just love training. I love the whole aspect of it. You're always learning. I always learn new stuff. Always cool stuff to learn. And that's kind of the thing. Like, there is no ending. There is no ending to it. Like, even when you're a black belt, it's like you don't just quit.
You always want more.
Yeah, you don't just quit and start watching Netflix. I mean, you could, I guess, if you wanted to. But.
Yeah. But usually, if you reach that status, you're the type of person that's going to want to keep going.
Like, you liked it already. Yeah,
right.
You're going to keep.
You got that far.
Yeah, you're going to want more. It's just there is no ending to it. So I like that aspect of it. Like, as compared to like other sports that I was in. Plus, like other sports I was in, like there were a lot of team sports. It was kind of cool to be like in an individual sport. Take accountability. Like, you couldn't blame your teammate. Oh, if they only made that layup.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if I didn't pass, or that kind of thing. I didn't like that too much. So I was like, skateboarding, snowboarding. Like,
Did you play tennis?
I like tennis. I can certainly play. That's
another one.
Yeah, I like all that stuff. I think I'm just happen to be good at that stuff. But I just choose these things. I don't want to get hurt too much in that. But I still like basketball. I'll still shoot around basketball for sure.
Nice. You mentioned being good at snowboarding and you picking it up quick. You think martial arts had a lot to do with that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, you're just not. If you're not afraid, you're not afraid of falling. If you're not afraid of like a big guy running you over, I think it helps anyone in like sports psychology. Just because if you know the rules of sport, they can't do things to you. Whereas like fighting or boxing, like they're trying to do mean things to you, and you're just trying to block and move. So if you can deal with that, I think there's no problem with dealing with like the other thing that they can't do those extreme things to you. They can't hurt you. Just hold your ground. I like that. So kind of changes the good mentality. So I love cross-training. Out west, like everyone cross-trained. A lot of professional athletes would come through.
Yeah.
They would cross-train with, like, kickboxing just because of the footwork. So you'd see, like, NFL players in there. So
yeah,
would meet a lot of people through that, too.
Right on, brother. So at what point when you're out there, when you're thinking, are you laughing to yourself like, here's this kid from Madison, New York, little small town, 300 population or however much, and here I am in the big city. You got to be laughing to yourself.
Oh, yeah, when like pictures start. Well, even when snowboarding, I was, hanging out with like gold medalists.
Right.
They were winning gold medals, and like I was hanging out having beers with them on the after training and stuff. So, and training with them. So, that was always just part of it. I was like, I just assumed that was part of the thing, But yeah, when I started seeing pictures with myself, like online, with like at the gym with like world champions, and they're just hanging out like no big deal, or getting invited to barbecues, you're like, all right, this is real life.
Yeah.
But it's nothing that I already didn't, I think, kind of manifest. You know what I mean? I was like, of course it's gonna happen. Why wouldn't it happen? But just because I was there and I think committed, you know what I mean?
Right.
I loved it so much. You got to, like I said, you kind of have to love it. And then, plus, I wanted to never really been out. I've been out to the West Coast a little bit, but man, getting out of the snow sounded great. Mm-hmm. And I love nice weather. Yeah. Since moving back, like extra jacket for me.
Plus, it helps with the travels too, with growth, personal growth.
Yeah, you see how
you got to get out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah, you see how small the world is. I think the first person I met when I moved out there, I went up to the bar and showed my ID, and the guy looks at me, and he goes, "Madison, huh?" He's like, "I'm from Oneida."
Come on.
That was the first person I met. So I was like, all right, this is a small world when you get out. Mm-hmm. And that just happened right down the road. You'd meet people from like your hometown. I met people from Utica. Person from Utica, I'm dating one of my best friends from out there that I met. So when she married him, I was like, how the heck? She happened to move out there and meet him at a certain time.
That's so crazy.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So small world when you travel, for sure, But
when it happens so often, though, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
after a while.
You realize it's like maybe it's like the lifestyle sport. You know what I mean? Like everyone's really nice and approachable in these sports. You really, I think I always say, like, you can't just walk up into a gym and like play basketball with Kevin Durant or some popular NBA player. You can't do that, but you can go out west and you can surf with your favorite surfer. Like there's Kelly Slater. You can like skateboard with your favorite skateboarder. I literally skated with Tony Hawk. He's just hanging out. Like,
have you really?
Yeah, they just hang out. Like And that's just, you don't really bother them. Little kids do and stuff.
There's not like private skateboard parks.
No,
right?
I mean, yeah, when you got the money and stuff. But,
yeah, I guess, right?
But people do, but they still go to the local ones just because they're great. And it's one of those sports you can approach. I can go into a boxing gym and meet like the world champion boxer who works out there. Met a lot of famous boxers for sure, and got a chance to learn from them. And they coach, and got coached by them. So that's always cool. And like your lineage is coming from like a legit source, like, all right, I'm here and I'm learning from this guy who's done this work and has this resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what they got.
For sure.
So,
out of the people you met, I want a story about someone who was a dick, and then I want somebody who was super cool.
Let's see, like in the sports world, or just like
whatever,
famous
like
people?
like in the famous realm, if it's sports or an actor, an actress, a rock star, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Someone who was a dick and someone who was cool.
I like, if you know anything about me, I love I just told you I love comic books and movies and stuff like that. So I always went to Comic-Con when I was in San Diego. That was a big deal. And like takes over the whole city of San Diego. And it's like the hottest ticket in town.
Yeah.
And I was a graphic designer. I am a graphic designer. And if I didn't have enough tickets, I would just make some tickets. And then me and my pro friends would go in because it's so hard to get tickets. So we'd go in, or we'd dress up as Spider-Man or something and get into the front door. But I met Rosario Dawson. She's really cool. Like, she's like a actress, and I met her on the street. I think her and Kevin Smith were walking.
Oh, cool.
They just sat there and literally talked for like 10 minutes. Just shot the crap about whatever we were doing there and asked questions. They were super nice. When I was snowboarding, I met and hung out with the drummer for Aerosmith. I always forget his name.
Joey Kramer?
Yeah, Joey Kramer. Like Aerosmith, but no, everyone always forgets the other people, unfortunately. Sorry,
yeah,
sorry, drummers.
Steven Tyler and Joe Perry.
Yeah, unless you're like some amazing drummer. But yeah, I taught him how to snowboard, and then he decided that he didn't want to hurt his wrist, and ended up drinking with him. So that was pretty fun.
Oh, that's great. Wait, he came in for snowboarding lessons?
Yeah, he came in for some lessons, and I was like, yeah, I got you. And we went out, and he's watching people fall and riding the lift, and I was getting him going. He's like, well, is this dangerous? And I was like, well, don't use your hands, just fall on your butt. And I thought about it. We did like one run. He was like, let's go get a drink on me. And I was like, he's like, I don't want to hurt my hands. And I was like, I don't want to be known as the guy that hurt Joey Kramer's hands. So I was all about that. I was like, you know what? I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I'll be on like People magazine front page tomorrow. I didn't mean to break his hand. So
you're taking him on the bunny slope, though, right?
Yeah.
The beginner slope.
Oh yeah, of course. I wasn't even going. When you do stuff like that, you got goggles on. No one even recognizes you.
Right. And
it's even situational. Like, why would you think he'd even be on the mountain, you know? So that's kind of cool. You can sneak around like that as a famous person, or throw on some snowboard goggles. And, so.
He probably has it in his contract that he's not supposed to do stuff like that.
Oh, I think he mentioned that, too. Yeah, he mentioned that for sure. Cool people, man. I think most people in these sports that I'm in are very, very cool.
Yeah, for sure. I bet the skateboarding world is pretty cool. Oh, yeah. The snowboarding world.
They really are. They're so inviting. And, as long as you're not there to,
be a dick.
Yeah, if you're funny, especially, So if you have a good sense of humor and, yeah, don't be a leech, I guess. Don't leech off. I met Rob Dyrdek. He's pretty cool. He's a nice guy. Oh, I went on you remember the Reef Girls?
Reef Girls.
Remember Reef? It's like a shoe company. It's a lifestyle shoe company from California.
No.
They're pretty big out there.
Are they?
Yeah, for sure. I think I went on some cruise with Rob Machado, and it was his birthday. It was pretty fun. I did a birthday cruise with Rob Machado and all the Reef people and around the bay in San Diego. He liked it. He was pretty cool. He's a nice guy. Yeah, just get lucky. These guys are super cool, you know what I mean? But I never really ask for autographs. I'm not like, hey, give me an autograph. I'm always like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Dap.
Fanboy.
Yeah, about other things, but not like the fanboy things of what they do usually, you know what I mean? Like if you see someone at Comic-Con, you're not there to talk about what they do if they do sports, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're talking about the Incredible Hulk or something.
Right, it's the last thing they want to talk about. Who do you think you would fanboy over?
I did fanboy over Anderson Silva.
Did you?
Yeah, I met him.
I'm glad you brought that up. Continue on, but I want to talk about that for a second. But who else did you fanboy over?
Definitely Anderson Silva. And anyone anyone that's been super famous in like the Brazilian jiu-jitsu world, they just feel like superhuman. Like any of the Gracies, a lot of the Gracies that I met, like Hegan or all these Gracies, any of them pretty much, and the older guys.
How about someone you haven't met that you think you'd fanboy over?
Oh, jeez. Probably like Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's like seems like larger than life. He likes anime and all that stuff. But I think it'd be easy to get along with. I already know they'd probably be pretty easy, but I would definitely fanboy over him just because I appreciate skills and if you don't get in too much trouble.
Style bender, baby.
Style bender. As long as you don't get in much trouble too, like I don't really want you punching old people in the bar and
He fights this weekend too.
Yeah, he fights this weekend. That's going to be good.
I'm glad you mentioned Anderson Silva. Now, I want to put this into your head for a second. Do you remember the old school wrestling back in the day? It was broken down into territories. And in these territories, the champion would always be the promoter, right?
Yeah. Well, the promoter would choose who the...
Or he would choose whoever's the champion, right? Yeah. But a lot of times it was like in Minnesota, it was Vern Gagne, right? He was always the champion, or then he gave it to Bockwinkel, but it was his buddy. But he was always in control of that belt type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now with this Jake Paul thing, or is it Logan? I get the two mixed up. One's in WWE, and he just tore his ACL, and the other one just fought Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
Now, do you think it was kind of like, and I can't, I mean, it's Anderson Silva, right? So you would like to think that they're not going to want to embarrass him take a fall or whatever, but do you think like maybe they would kind of like hold him back and not embarrass the promoter of the show?
I think it's a possibility. I would rather think
about how much money they made on that fight.
I would rather think that, man, that's a gifted 47 or 48-year-old man.
For sure.
And I would rather think that he made a great showing of himself. I mean, it's tough. I mean, fight that guy, 5-10 years ago. I think that goes differently. Mm-hmm. But, everyone gets old. It's like,
right.
You may stay in shape, but, like, man, getting hit all the time.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul's like 24 or 25.
Yeah.
In shape, good wrestler. He was a good athlete in school, And
he was swinging.
Yeah, he was swinging. And, I mean, maybe that's in your, but...
Because that's in my head. I'm thinking the old wrestling type of thing is you don't want to embarrass your promoter. And your promoter's kind of the lead and calls the shots and writes the storylines.
But if he's making you get tattoos of his name and stuff like that and you actually go through with it, like Tyron Woodley, I think, had to get a tattoo of his name. I wouldn't do that. I
wouldn't do that.
Get a tattoo. I don't care how much money you're giving me.
Right, exactly.
And that's like could tattoo over it after a certain amount of time or something. You want to give me a couple million? All right, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But no, thank you.
Because I watched that fight, and Jake Paul did. Or is it Jake? I get.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Jake.
Jake Paul looked pretty good. He did. He, like you said, he's young. He's in shape. He's got a long reach.
He's a good boxer. I mean, boxing's different than kicking. Like it's you probably figuring it out. When you're limited, when you're good at so much of everything, and you have all these tools, and then you just go, and you put time to learn all of those tools, and someone goes, all right, just use that tool, and you're not a professor always of just that tool. Mm-hmm. And when you're a boxer, you're a professor of that tool. Your hands are. You're definitely like the sweet science, and those are the weapons and your surgical equipment. It's your scalpel and your whatever. But kickboxing, there's other things you got to worry about. So Jake Paul's been focusing on boxing.
Yeah.
And he's been training with and has the money to train with some amazing trainers. Who wouldn't want to do that? Get some privates with that. Mm-hmm. Which would cost more than my privates.
Much more.
Yeah. I do a Utica special running through here, but just because this is not San Diego.
Right.
I wish the interest was there as much, like out west or wherever. I think just because of the weather, maybe people just take really good care of themselves, but. The interest is just there. You don't have to try too hard, and everyone wants to come in and get involved in this. And then here it's like seems more like it's a split sect, but of certain people that are just like, oh, finally want to try it. So that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to make it so it doesn't seem so intimidating for everybody. I've had people that come in and always wanted to get in, but they're always afraid to go to a gym. And I'm like, all right, well, just come try it,
Well, the facility...
And now they feel like they could walk into any gym and do fine.
Right, but the facility over on Varick Street's great. The place that you're at,
Yeah, yeah.
You got a brand new boxing ring in there, some great equipment. There's weights, there's a bunch of bags, treadmills and bikes and jump ropes and a bunch of hitting pads and even extra gloves if you're
they got the battle ropes. Like, it's great. I could do like all strength and conditioning because I like to focus on not just the Muay Thai boxing, but kickboxing, just getting in shape. You don't have to.
Footwork.
Yeah, you don't. Footwork, knowing how to move, not fall down, not trip over yourself.
And you're open, right? You got some open space on your calendar.
Yeah. I pretty much just do. I do privates and small groups. So if you and your friends or you and your family, a couple people, 3 to 5 or 1 to 3 to 5 people want to get together, it's a good way just to do it together. You can see it, you kind of bond over that type of thing. I've done couples have come in and I've had them, move around a little bit and watch the competition between them, and that's been great. I think it's a great couples therapy, and something cool to do together. Other than this is Utica, it's really easy to come out, go out and eat pizza every night. Who doesn't want to do that?
Go to the bars every night.
Yeah, it's easy to go to the bar. I mean, I love the bars too, and I work at one, but you can't do that every night, But you got to have something like this that you can do, and it's something different, and it keeps you in shape. Got to have that. Got to have things to do. Got to have. I think it's just a good way to stay active. I don't know. I've done so many different things to stay active, and I feel like this is the most fun thing you can do. And it's for anyone. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have a big gymnasium and a YMC membership and, basketball. It's for anyone. You just got to have a pair of gloves. If you don't have them, I'll supply them.
Yeah, you do have some extras down there.
Yeah. Get your own, of course. Want that, but I always clean them and.
It's good for your mental health and let out some aggression too. I mean, everybody was pent up for a couple of years with COVID, just like a lot. Mental health is such a big thing, but I think if you focused on your physical and mental health well-being and doing that in the gym by taking it out, your aggression on some bags or a speed bag or some pads or something like that, it really helps.
Oh, it really helps. Really helps. I think everyone needs that. Girls, guys, I think you just need it. Like you get a little energy out. I think it tire the body, then your mind can do a little work, and the mind tells the body to do some work. You just kind of go on cruise control too. Like you go to the gym, you get to do it yourself. You have to lift that weight, tell yourself to do it, unless you have a personal trainer, kicking your butt. But not everybody does that. But in this, it's pretty much. I just tell you what to do. You can go on, just listen. Just do it. And before you know, the hour flies by. You can take all the information with you. It's not like you can leave it at the door. If you stop working out, you lose that knowledge. The knowledge is yours.
Yeah.
And I'll do it right. I'll teach you the right way.
Exactly.
However fast you learn, we'll get there. It's not a race. That's one thing I've just learned. You can't always compare yourself to others. You got to keep chipping away at yourself. And, and that's the real goal is just keep being a better version, If you like something, well, we can work on it. We can get it better, If it's your mindset, well, we can work on that too. I'll tire you out.
That's for
Make
sure.
you too tired to think.
Make you puke.
And then you want to go home and sleep, and you're like, oh, that was the best night's sleep I had. Well, I've tired you out. That's the idea. And before you know it, everything's looking more bright and cheery, and rainbows have returned. And hopefully you still work out. You don't give up.
I challenge anybody who has anger issues. If you have you're going through anger management things, go visit Jayme for an hour. Seriously, go visit him, and I bet you those anger management problems that you have will be nipped in the bud, at least throughout that day, because you could just let it all out there, and you could get loud, and some places don't let you scream and yell or whatever. You can get as loud as you want over there, and
when that door locks, right? Like it's just pretty much us, and that's it, with big open windows looking out, so no one's going to judge. I certainly don't judge. When I started out with all this stuff, as a kid, I was a little overweight for sure, and had to work hard. Nothing was given to me really. Just always chipped away. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to give up. Even when you get injured, you should always kind of rehab and chip away. Don't you want to walk? You have a long life. Don't you want to be able to, you have one vehicle, I feel like. Take care of it as much as you can.
Yeah, that's a fact, brother.
And then even if you do that, then you can go out and have fun, Take care of it, and then go have some fun, of course.
Yeah.
Just don't drink every day.
We learned at our age, especially, that was a hard lesson.
Water.
A hard lesson for me at 40 was you need to take care of your health.
Oh yeah, you only got one. And medical bills are certainly more expensive than my fees or a gym membership. You know what I'm saying? So if you can keep yourself out of that system, I think that's your best bet in life. Plus. makes you feel better. I don't know. That's all I got. So take care of yourself. You'll feel better.
How do people get in touch with you if they're interested in taking some training?
I like to keep it like the A-team, like, if you can find me, you can track me down.
Slide in my DMs.
Maybe you, too, can train. Yeah, I'm easy to find. Find me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm around town. I'm down on Varick Street, so right across from Nail Creek. So if you know anyone from Nail Creek, or go to Nail Creek and you just ask about it, and most people there know where to point you. You know, make it like a little game, like a little prize
scavenger hunt.
Yeah, a little scavenger hunt. I found a clue.
That's what I love about the gym being at Varick Street, man. It's good. For me, it's motivation. I look across the street, see my old place down there, and I'm just like, it still triggers a little bit of anger when I look at that place.
I think I just moved to town the day of your last night open.
Oh, really?
And I didn't know what to do with myself, and I walked in there. And I was like, this place is pretty cool.
The May of 2012 is when...
that's... Wow. I'm telling you, I was there for that's like my first night in town when I moved back. And I was like, this place is pretty cool. And then someone goes, last night. I was like, that figures. Yeah. That's before I even knew. Like, when I haven't been around for a while, you know, before I moved back. So I didn't really know about Nail Creek. I didn't really know about... other places on town that popped up, or even the food. Like, that's the number one thing that impressed me was, man, all these food places that popped up. It was great. So many. Oh, man, we got some good food out here now, not just like Italian. Yeah. Which, of course, is, you know, amazing out here, one of the best. But it's nice to see, like, you know, some Cambodian and some Filipino and some, you know, Mexican.
Mixture, yeah, Lebanese. I love the Lebanese food in this town.
Mediterranean. Yeah. It's just nice to see all that. Like, it's great. Right? Food makes the area, in my opinion. It certainly makes it more enjoyable if you got to sit there, you know. Yeah. Might as well eat well, or eat what you like, not the same thing over and over.
You've lived all over the country, man. What do you think makes an area?
Oh, yeah,
besides
I would say.
The food.
Yeah, weather and food and right people, pretty much, I would say. Yeah. You know, the weather usually keeps it's nice. Usually people in nicer moods. Man, if you're eating well and you got fresh food and vegetables, like out in San Diego, man, everyone's like, the farmers markets out there are amazing. That's number one thing I miss, the farmers markets. Yeah. Yeah, you get some cheap food and great food, fresh. You know where your seafood comes from. You know where the sushi comes from. You know, yeah, I would say just the food and the weather, right, and everything else that kind of falls into place, for sure. That's what I would say.
Love it, bud. Thanks, man. This has been fun. I'm glad we got to like hang out and talk and shoot the shit and you know, I wanted people to know like what you do and like how you help people. Yeah, I'm gonna keep a little. You've helped me, bro, for the last year and a half. I've been coming to you since like last June. I had a little bit about a depression in the beginning of this year, but I snapped out of it and came right back. And you helped me snap right out of it, dude. So
heck yeah, I appreciate I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. I understand. My dog grabbed my dog during the same thing. She snapped me out of it, and I was like, all right, you know, you can only do this for so long, so. Yeah. Take care of yourself. I think everything else falls into place, right? So instead of worrying about the big picture, bring it back. Worry about the things you can control yourself. And, and that's, like I said, the best way to do this is get in and punch someone or...
get in and punch someone!
Get in and punch someone. Like, if not that, you know, if you like jiu-jitsu, the other gym that I'm associated with, Dojo 1, in town, best jiu-jitsu, and they get the whole deal over there. So, I mean, you got no excuse with the cool places you have in town. I know when I was up and coming, I had to drive an hour one way and an hour back. When I had my license, my parents weren't taking me anymore, and I was like, all right, I'm an adult and I'm going to keep training. I was driving an hour one way and an hour back, 3 days a week. Yeah, if not more, dedication. If not more. So now to have stuff like this in your backyard, or like, you know, right across the street from a bar on Varick, you know, or, you know, right in Washington Mills, it's like right there. Drive the 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Like, and it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. That's all I can say.
Are there any local guys that can go pro around here?
Yeah, I think there's some there was at one time, and I think kind of faded a little bit. And then they keep coming. I feel like COVID really set a lot of stuff back. Copy. So, man, just watching that. So, I think people maybe started, you know, doing what I did for a couple months, got, you know, drinking and eating a lot, and then I snapped out of it, and then, Either you do or you don't. Like I said, this is like a lifestyle thing. You can never really have those lulls. You always got to stick with it. 'Cause I feel like once you stop, like the gears will stop. So
Yep.
keep it moving. Even when you're hurt, you can keep it moving.
Yep.
That's all I said. Just keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Have fun. I kept it PG. I got nephews out there. Maybe they
I'm
may
sorry.
see
I
it.
dropped a couple F-bombs.
No, that's
Sorry.
absolutely fine. They heard it. They heard it the other day playing some football. They heard a lot of stuff.
Give some love to your nephews. They're killing it out there in football.
Hey, absolutely. I love when small town kids perform on the big level. Yeah, I moved out of the small town. You can stay here, of course, and that's nothing wrong with that. But I think there's nothing like getting out there, testing yourself, meeting some good people, and seeing what's all about. Especially if you love something, you can't just you got to go out there and get it. It's not always given to you, But luckily, you can get it here. We literally, when I went out and got it for you and brought it back, I'm on Varick for now. It might move, and then Dojo 1 is right down in Washington Mills. They are not moving, so. There's no reason not to get after it, is what I'm saying.
Get after it. Keep it moving.
And if you're with me, you get to see my dog. My dog hangs out. She's a receptionist.
She's the best.
Yeah.
And you can watch her exercise as well. She pushes the ball around. And
if you're feeling bad, I'm telling you, she'll cheer you up, and then I'll make sure I make you sweat. So.
Yep, and Giz is really good at hitting the pads too.
She rolls the balls around. She likes the agility balls.
Yeah, and the ropes.
And the ropes. Yep. She'll help.
Ropes.
She'll add an extra 30 pounds to your training. Like, why is my one arm super big? And it won't be because of the reason that most people think.
And she's super cute. We love her. Jayme, this has been awesome, bro.
Hey, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, brother.
I got to give a shout out to all our friends that have been donating to our food drive. We're trying to restock the shelves over at the Utica Food Pantry. And what you can do is donate your canned goods, your non-perishable food items to places over in Big Apple Music. We got Music and More, Joey's at 307, Wisp Baking Company, both Utica hemp locations, and Rockin' Horse Tattoos. This is going till about next week. I think we're going to pull the boxes next week, but we're going to restart it again probably in December and get some more food on the shelves just in time for the holiday season. But got to give a shout out to the Utica Cricket Club. Sam's been doing so much work for this, and he's been awesome. We raised over 200 pounds of food so far. So I'm pretty excited about that, and we got another week to go. So get those donations in. And also shout out to EJA Moving Services because they're the ones that provided all the boxes for us. So thank you guys for all your help, and thank you to all our drop-off locations and everybody that participated and have donated so far. So get your canned goods in, and let's restock the shelves over at the Utica Food Pantry. Shout out to my sponsors. Thank you to Upgrade Brain Formula, Lasting Confidence, EJA Moving, Joey's at 307, Utica Coffee, my attorney Dave Longaretta, Saranac Brewery, and Ballsy, ballwash.com. Giz is ready to go. She's got the bark box going.
She's got the box.
That's it.
Training me.
Jayme, thanks for hanging, man. This has been good.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too.